what is your advice on how to deal with volatility in the market and the news cycle? I think those are the things that none of us can control, kind of to the point you guys have been talking about. But what are the things that listeners can control? And Dave, I'm going to start with you.
Sure. So, kind of piggybacking on Nate's, these things happen every so often. A more definitive stat here, but since the end of World War II, we've seen, I count 39 market corrections, greater than 10%. And only 13 of those have turned into bear market, which is down 20%. Okay. So what can we control? We can control having that cash buffer I talked about before, having that in place. And that allows for access to cash by the Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the general investing public. If you need cash out of your portfolio and you have a bucket of cash available, it keeps you from having to sell securities during a correction or during a bear market and permanently booking a loss during that 10 to 20% correction or even more. That's the goal. So as these things happen, it's not about correctly anticipating these events and making adjustment, because that's a losing proposition. It's about knowing that they happen and then being financially prepared to not turn paper losses into real losses by doing what a lot of people are doing today and selling their stocks at down 4 or 5%. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and create a statistics out of thin air and say this. I'll bet you almost 100% of the people selling today aren't selling because they're going out to buy a new house tomorrow and they need cash. They're selling out of panic and fear and everything else, and a lack of visibility on the expectations, positive expectations about the economy going forward. And they're selling. They're not selling to buy something. So that is one of the things you can control, is having the money available that you need when you need it in an environment when the markets are at an all-time high. Like, should have been raising cash on February 18th, right? If you knew you were going to be buying a house or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I always keep coming back to that, because cash is the best and the cheapest hedge against market corrections that's available to the everyday average investor, and even institutions as well, I'd argue. Period. End of story. Dave Armstrong dies on that hill.